Yep, these are penguins. They may be acting more like bowling pins right now, but I assure you they are penguins. So how did these South Atlantic birds end up in Singapore? What? This isn't that story? Okay. So how did these penguins move from Jurong to Mandai? Every penguin in. Meet Percy. He's a 6-year-old king penguin born and bred in Singapore. At birth, he weighed just over 200 grams and was about 10 centimeters in length. And now, he's huge. Percy is now 72 centimeters tall. Percy is a hand-raised penguin, and one of his favorite humans is Yanti, who has been taking care of him for 6 years.
When we do have hand-raised penguins beside us and we're just, cuddling with them, I think like what you do with your cats and dogs at home, you tend to do this baby talk. Call the name and just say it in high pitch. And just sayang them. That's what you do.
Let's meet Pinky. She's a Humboldt penguin. Pinky is also a hand-raised penguin, and she was born in 2010. Anais has been friends with Pinky for the past 5 years. She's from France. That's Anais, not Pinky. And her job involves caring for all the birds in Bird Paradise and has been supervising the penguin team as curator since 2018.
So we have 2 names for penguin in France. So if the penguins are living in the southern hemisphere, we call them manchots. And if they live in the northern hemisphere, we will call them penguins. So when we decided to build this new exhibit, we really wanted to make sure that the environment for the penguin is as close as possible to what they experience in the wild.
Moving from the bird park to Bird Paradise required some acclimatization for Pinky, Percy and their pals, such as swimming in salt water. Yes, the old Jurong Bird Park penguin enclosure was freshwater. Living in colder air and water temperature, for that truly Antarctic touch, and playing in tanks that are 3 times the size of the exhibit at Jurong Bird Park, which hopefully will encourage these seabirds to hang out in the water more. To prep them for the big move, every day for 6 months starting back in October 2022, the penguins were given salt tablets to reactivate their salt glands.
These salt glands were a little bit dormant all this time because they were staying in fresh water. If the penguins cannot expel this excess of salt because the glands are not working well, the salt will actually accumulate into the kidney and can create serious illness for them.
Just 3 months before the big move, Jurong Bird Park welcomed 8 Gentoo Penguins from Rotterdam Zoo. After 23 days of quarantine, the Gentoos were introduced to the penguin pack. There was a bit of trepidation about the meeting of the penguin colonies, though maybe more from the humans.
So one of the things that I hope will not happen is to observe any immediate aggression within the species of mixed species. So basically if any fights were to happen or them just chasing each other around the exhibit, this may happen if the 8 Gentoo penguins were to hang around the nesting sites of our existing colony of penguins. So hopefully they will be able to adapt to it and know their space and just hang somewhere else.
After bonding, or maybe tolerating each other, in total, 32 penguins were in place for their big move to their new home. The big day. Pinky and Percy plus friends were ready to move to their new home. One by one, all 11 Gentoos, 12 Kings, 8 Humboldts, and 1 Northern Rockhopper were placed into crates. The smaller ones were hand-carried into the compartmentalized crates, while the larger birds were ushered along to enter the crates under their own steam. The bottom of the crates were packed with ice to keep the waddling passengers cool before being loaded onto a truck to their new paradise. Upon arrival at the brand new Penguin Cove, the penguins were released to the beach area, not the water. This was to help them get used to their new environment.
They are starting to investigate. We had our northern rockhopper penguin who started to hop a little bit here and there, and that actually makes me happier than just having the birds being released. The birds acclimatizing for me is more rewarding.
Breakout day, barricades away. Pinky and Percy and company were free to go swimming. Though it was Luna, one of the humboldt penguins, that was first to make a splash, though possibly not deliberately. Ah, yes, and this is where we came in. Sliding penguins.
It was not expected to have them actually to sleep at this spot, just purely because actually the exhibit is made with different type of ramps, with different actually slopes. We were really not expecting them to all try to go on this one, which is actually the steepest one. So now we will have also to monitor to see, are they going to start to investigate the exhibit and try to use other ramp to get out of the water.
One new addition to the penguins' environment is the fish shooter, an underwater feeding device. Embedded in the structure of each of the 2 diving tanks, the penguins wait to catch fish treats jettisoned into the water. It's devices like this that allow the penguins to dive and hunt for fish, just like they would in the wild. While penguins awkwardly waddle on land, when the park opened in May, the new Penguin Cove exhibit allowed the public to see how graceful these birds are, swooping and gliding underwater.
I was actually very emotional when everybody is clapping their hands and screaming, yelling, yeah, welcome, and you have these people coming and you say, yes, this is it actually. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. I mean, this is just like all of the hard work that we have done in 6 months, which actually paid off, and now we open.
After a few new joiners from Japan, there are now 36 penguins to see at the Penguin Cove. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be there now that every penguin is in.